Welcome to Dr. Balga's podcast for the Curious Doc. Today is January 30th, 2026. This video is an article published yesterday, Jan 29th, in Cell titled Hallmarks of Cancer, Then and Now and Beyond by Douglas Hanahan. What is the purpose of Hallmarks of Cancer framework? It is to organize the biological complexity of cancer into shared principles. Who developed the hallmarks of cancer? The author of this article, Douglas Hanahan and Robert Weinberg. Why an updated framework is needed? Because of advances in genomics, immunology, and systems biology. How many conceptual dimensions define cancer today? 4. Hallmarks, enablers, microenvironment, and systemic interactions. Are hallmarks universal across cancers? They're broadly shared, but variably expressed. What is sustaining proliferative signaling? Persistent activation of growth pathways. Which oncogenes commonly drive proliferation? KRAS, MYC, EGFR, and BRAF. What does inactivating growth suppressors mean? Loss of cell cycle checkpoint control. Which tumor suppressors are the key? TP53, RB, APC, and CDKNs. How do oncogenes and suppressors interact? They cooperatively disrupt growth control. What is resisting programmed cell death? Avoidance of apoptosis and related pathways. Which death pathways matter in cancer? Apoptosis, necroptosis, and ferroptosis. How do cancers block apoptosis? Upregulating BCL2 family proteins. What is replicative immortality? Unlimited cell division capacity. How is the immortality achieved? Telomerase activation or ALT. Why do tumors need vascularization? To supply oxygen and nutrients. What is the angiogenesis? Formation of new blood vessels. What is the vascular cooption? It's the use of pre-existing vessels. What is deregulated metabolism? Reprogramming energy production. Why is metabolic plasticity important? It enables survival under stress. What is phenotypic plasticity? It's the ability to change the cell state. What is epithelial mesenchymal plasticity? Transition enabling invasion. How does plasticity cause resistance? It allows adaptive survival states. Are cancer stem cells fixed? No. Stemness is dynamic. Why is heterogeneity important? It drives relapse and resistance. What is immune invasion? It's the suppression of anti-tumor immunity. How do tumors suppress T cells? Checkpoint signaling and exclusion. Why do immunotherapy responses vary? Differences in tumor immune context. Is immune evasion early or late? It emerges early and evolves. Why does vasculature affect immunity? It limits lymphocyte trafficking. Why is metastasis lethal? It causes most cancer deaths. What is the metastatic cascade? Invasion, circulation, and colonization. Do metastases require new mutations? Often no. Selection dominates. What is the metastatic dormancy? Is long-term survival without growth. What is pre-metastatic niche? These are prime distant tissue sites. What are hallmark enabling characteristics? Traits facilitating acquisition of hallmark. Why is genomic instability important? It fuels evolutionary diversity. What is epigenetic reprogramming? Gene expression change without mutation. How does inflammation promote cancer? By supplying growth and survival signals. Why is innovation relevant? Neural signals modulate tumor behavior. What are the hallmark conveying cells? These are non-cancer cells supporting tumors. Which stromal cells are the key? Fibroblasts, macrophages, and endothelium. Why are tumors called outlaw organs? They hijack normal systems. How do systemic factors influence cancer? Via metabolism, immunity, and nerves. What's the clinical value of this framework? Guiding mechanism-based therapies. This is in a nutshell the FAQs of this article. I encourage you all to read this article after you have heard these FAQs to get the full message of this outstanding article. Podcast brought to you by masterbedfacts.com. This podcast is for physicians and healthcare providers. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and forward to your friends.